This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Use code 199NUTS for $1.99.com. Defense Soap. Use code MMA Nuts for 15% off your entire order. Hey fans, this is Ingo Weigold.
Matt Griffith.
From MMA Nuts with a special edition of interviews featuring Glory fighter Joe Schilling, interviewed by very own Dave Walsh of MMA Nuts fame.
Awesome.
The writer, the legend. Check it out. Joe Schilling will be fighting September 28th in Los Angeles, and Glory's putting on a spectacular show here in the U.S.
Did you say glory hole?
No, I said Glory, as in kickboxing. And they'll also be coming to Chicago in October and then New York. So check it out.
Awesome.
You haven't fought in about a year. Do you feel like you're going to have to deal with ring rust or any of that kind of stuff, or do you feel like you're prepared and ready to knock somebody's head off?
I think both. I'm definitely well prepared and ready to knock someone's head off or two heads off. But, I haven't fought in a year, but I did have a couple fights that fell through when I was midway through camp. So I haven't been completely off. I was still sparring for those fights and getting ready for them. So that helped a lot. And then we made it a really long camp just to make sure my body and everything was back. And, I think I'm already 12 weeks in. I still have another week to go. So, as far as that goes, I feel as ready as I've ever been. We did more sparring for this camp than I think I've ever done for any camp. I think I've already got like 75 rounds of sparring in for this camp. So,
oh damn.
My coaches are real happy and real confident, and I feel really good. And just I hate the fact that this camp has been this long, and I'm really ready to fight. I was ready to fight about 2 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, that's a long freaking camp, man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that, but hey. So yeah, you had a couple of fights fall through for you. So like, does that do anything to you? Like, does that like kind of like piss you off or whatever? Or are you like, is it kind of just part of the game at this point now for you?
It pissed me off at the time, and I think since the last fight, it's just been a lot of kind of a maturing process for me. Obviously I had a mental break in that fight where I made a mistake and had to learn the lessons for it. But it was an experience that I needed to have, and I really feel like that experience prepared me for this tournament. If I hadn't made that mistake and got knocked out, I would probably be going into this tournament thinking I was invincible and might make the same mistake again. Now, the stakes are a lot higher and the competition level is a lot higher. So I actually, believe it or not, I'm actually kind of glad that happened. And I think that's something that I think most champions and, the guys that go down in the sport as legends have all had that happen to them at one point or another and had to learn that from that mistake. So I feel like it was almost like a rite of passage. And, I know I'm not invincible, and that, if I just stay focused and,
Yeah,
it won't happen again.
Yeah, I mean it's always tough coming off a loss, but then a loss and then having to wait a year. Wakeling was actually one of the fights that kind of fell through before. So, how are you, like, you're probably super ready to fight him at this point.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that fight before, and that was a fight I wanted, years ago, and just because he was at the top of the food chain. When I was working my way up through the rankings of the WBC, if you're not looking at the title holder, then you're not really trying to go anywhere. And so he was always the world champion at 168, and that was the weight class that I was fighting at. So that was, the guy that I was watching and the guy that I wanted to fight. And then, it took a year or so, and then that opportunity came to fight in London for Glory 5. And, Glory and I were going back and forth with some contract issues, and I guess Eddie Walker took the fight quicker, and we saw how that worked out.
Yeah, I mean, that is what it is, I guess. And I mean, and then obviously the other big name in the tournament is Artem Levin, who, I mean, you were supposed to fight this guy, like, it feels like a million times now, and that people have been waiting for this. Is it kind of tough for you that, like, you know that there's a chance that you get past Wakeling and then you face Levine, and like that's a guy you've wanted to fight for a long time. Like, is it hard to like stay focused and be like Wakeling first, Wakeling first?
Not really. You would think it would be that way, but it's not. If you overlook Steve Wakeling, then you'll never get to Levin.
Oh, absolutely not.
Honestly, if anything, I'm overlooking Levin because I want to make sure I get through Wakeling. And I think uh, once I get past Wakeling, I think the nerves will be out and it'll just kind of settle in. And I think I finished Wakeling in 2 rounds. To be honest, nothing
Mm.
against Steve. That's the plan, and that's really what I feel is going to happen. And then me and Levin are going to have a one hell of a fight, and I'm really excited about it, and I think I'm going to beat him too.
Yeah, somebody who's been following this for a while. That's everybody wants to see that fight, and
Yeah.
I think no matter what happens in this, I think that fight has to happen at some point because
Mhm.
it's just one of those things, man. Like we've all wanted to see it, and got derailed so many times. It's been kind of. I'm sure it's probably been crazy for you too.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, at the same time, though, these are the top guys in the sport, and I know that you have to, you can't just, to quote Fast and Furious, you can't just call out Ali because you think you box. You have to earn it. And I'm sure when I was asking for those fights, they were probably saying, the same thing I've said to other people. Why should I fight this guy? What has he done? And
Yeah,
then I won the interim title, and I fought the same opponents that Levin's fought, and I've done better against them, I think, than he did with them, and I think our styles match up really well, and I just think it's a fight that I really want. It's a fight the fans really want. I think it's a fight that the kickboxing world should really want because it's going to be an exciting fight. The way that we both fight and
yeah.
the way our styles match up, our height, our movement, our switching stances, our aggression. I think they're just a great fights, and I'm going to win those fights, but at the same time, it's those are fights I want to be a part of. Those should both of these fights that night should go down in as some pretty awesome fights. I'm glad to be a part of them.
Yeah. With Levin, it's one of those things of like, man, like he doesn't match up well with too many people because his style is just, it's clinch heavy. It's kind of weird sometimes. It can be kind of ugly, but it's one of those
Dirty.
things you do match up really well with him, and you
Hmm.
kind of have the counter for what he kind of offers, and I think that's what makes it kind of awesome. But
Hmm.
so, how do you feel about having to fight twice in the night?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I wish they would do that more often. I've always been a fan. Growing up, coming up in kickboxing. I've been doing Muay Thai since I was 15. But a lot of the hardcore Muay Thai fans are going to hate me saying this. I don't watch a whole lot of Muay Thai fights online. Everybody gets excited about Sanchez fight in Thailand last week and Pornsene and all these guys. And I respect those guys and I watch their fights, but I don't get nearly as excited for those fights. Everyone else could be online watching that fight and I'm watching an old Badr Hari fight or,
Right.
Peter Ertz or, I grew up watching like the Grand Prix in Japan. And that's the style of fighting that I like. And I think that's the style that's really helped me in my Muay Thai career. A lot of the
Right.
guys start out slow in Muay Thai. I'm obviously not a slow starter. I'm very punch heavy. I like movement. My style works really well with Glory and the old K1 days, and I think that's why I've been so successful in my Muay Thai fights, and I think that's yeah, it's gonna feel really natural for me to fight that way, and
Right.
in this tournament. And I think that that's probably a big advantage I have over Steve Wakeling. I mean, he's very good at the traditional Muay Thai style, but where his strengths lie in Muay Thai, I don't think they're going to, transition over to the Glory rules so well.
Yeah.
Same time, he's not somebody you can look past, and he's not an amateur that doesn't know how to change and how to adjust. So I think it's going to be. I think both fights on that card are going to be awesome, and you can't count out Jason Wilness either.
Oh no.
It's he's a big boy, and I'm sure he's very motivated that no one's really giving him a chance on this stuff. So in this tournament, so it's anything can happen in the tournament.
Yeah, it's one of those things like he's a really good fighter, but people just want these certain things. So it's kind of like all the discussion has kind of been like heaped on these like, it's like, well, we want Levin to move on and we want Joe to move on and that kind of stuff. And well,
Uh,
fans in the UK are all about getting Wakelam going through, but
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. Have you fought in like regular ass kickboxing rules before, like professionally?
Professionally, I've not. Up until I turned pro in '04, I was fighting. Sanctioned fights in California in those days were no pads. It was no headgear, no shin pads, and
Yeah.
there were so many smokers going on that the amateur guys had 25 fights or whatever. So I mean, it
Yeah.
was high level amateur kickboxing that were K1, basically glory rules. There was no knees to the head and no elbows.
Yeah.
But when I first started fighting, we used to fight, and back in Ohio, I used to fight in tough man contests. And there was a time period when I was 18, 19, and every fight in Ohio had man at the end of it. It was either tough man or meanest man or rough man, or and there were all these the skill level wasn't that high, but it was always like a tournament style. So
Yeah.
a lot of my amateur fights when I first started were multiple fights in one night. And you know it's exciting. I'm really excited to do it. I don't really see it as a negative thing or something I'm worried about at all.
Yeah.
You get hurt in fights, but after about 20 minutes, and once your cardio's back up, the fact that you're hurt going into the next fight is you know training Muay Thai, you're hurt every day and you have to train, and you're still kicking and sparring even though you're hurt from the day before. And I'm kind of used to that. At least I think I am.
Yeah.
Well, fine.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Out on the 28th, right?
yeah. I mean, so I mean, here the other thing too is that you're fighting in. So like Glory is a little bit of a step up from some of the other like Muay Thai fights and whatever.
For
It's
sure.
it's got a big ass audience coming for it, and you're in a tournament with the best in the world representing America. Like,
Mhm.
that has to be a pretty cool feeling. Like you're there,
Oh, it's a fantastic feeling. I myself and a lot of the other guys in the group, Can't Stop Crazy, have all been really, trying to push the sport and helping the sport grow here in the U.S. And it really bothers all of us, and myself especially, that the U.S. has a bad reputation for kickboxing
Yeah,
internationally. And I can't say that we don't deserve it. I mean, I know I don't deserve it, but I think there's been a lot of, you know, um, black eyes for American kickboxing throughout the years, and it seems like every time there's an opportunity for an American to step up, the wrong one gets put on the card. And
yeah,
I think
it's
we saw
true.
that in Glory 5, and Badoom. Uh,
You really
this
want
is.
to fight him again, don't you?
I don't really want to fight him again. I don't, I would like that fight to happen, but I think after I win this tournament and I'm the new middleweight champion, I think he'll probably have to work his way up the ranks. I think he dropped to a lower weight class, and I just don't see him working his way up the ranks without being able to block a leg kick. So,
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
no.
It is what it is, and I wish him the best of luck in his career, but I think that it's pretty obvious where the level is. But anyhow, that's not what I was trying to get at. But I mean that there's always the wrong guys getting the opportunities, um, and then they don't take advantage of it, and then the U.S. is looked at poorly. So I'm really excited to be able to show the world that there are top level kickboxers here in the U.S. and that I'm one of them.